So basically the idea was last week, yeah, that we have our weight between ball of the foot, yeah, between this bone and between this heel. So your goal is to line up two major parts of your body. Your, how we call this part, by the way, it's not really tailbone, yeah, it's a little bit higher over here. So you want to place it right on top of these two. So it's like a sort of like a triangle, point, point, then this part, and then right on top of it you have your back of your head, or to be precise, the point where your spine bone connects with the skull. So the very first thing I want you to do to place that object precisely over here. So it's gonna be like a basically middle of your skull. Yeah? Nice. And basically I want you to stand like this, simply. Just stand. And maybe start to shift your weight from one foot to another. So like imagine that there is a projection of that object going through your sanctum, if I say it correct, into your foot. And we shift weight from one foot to another. To your right foot, to your left foot, to your right foot. Yeah. And you will feel that pretty naturally, yeah, you're going to relax your hips a little bit to get this perfect balance point position. Okay. So basically that's already, yeah, we start our hip action. Now second thing, I want you to feel isolation of body parts. So let's say try to rotate your head from left to right and being aware. So the heavier this object is, the better, because it allows you to feel that skull point. Yeah, and let's say, okay, so we're gonna try to turn to the left, neutral, to the right, neutral, to the left, neutral, to the right, neutral. Then we're going to try to turn the top, only ribs. To the left, neutral, to the right, neutral, to the left, neutral, to the right, neutral. And maybe let's say we're going to open arms to the side and we're going to turn hips. It's going to be a little bit harder, be careful. Keep going. Nice, nice. Yeah, so let's say ultimate challenge will be, let's say when you turn your head, then you turn your top, and then you turn your hips. Head, top, hips. Head, top, hips. Head, top, hips. Head, top, hips. Okay, let's go other way. And head, top, twist. Head, top, twist. Head, mine is still here. Twist. Head, top, and twist. Okay, good. Okay, now what we're going to do, we were talking about hip action, yeah? So we're going to do maximum hip action right now. So basically that's going to be weight transfer from one foot to another. And I want you to be as soft as possible through your hip action, keeping this point ideally, how to say, ideally in one spot. So your head will not move sideways, it will not move up and down, and so on. So this part is perfectly isolated. Well, let's say this one. While your ribs can move, your hips can move, and ideally you want to get that maximum amplitude. So, okay, I'm gonna turn the music. Place it. Find the balance. Flex your knees a little bit. And then we go. 4, 2, 3, 4. very first thing, we're gonna keep doing the same A figure. Now imagine that you are ballet dancer. And you have, what is this position with arms? Like second position or first? I'm not sure how they call it. So your fingers pretty much relaxed. So you're not stretching your fingers, but you're not completely, you know, they're not completely numb. So you create a soft resistance, like you have something like a net, and you stretch it just a little bit. Then from there you feel space in your elbow joints. Do like this a few times. Yes. So you feel space in your wrists, you feel space with your fingers, and you feel space under your armpits. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Very good. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to place these arms like this, and we're going to keep them there as we're doing our hip action. So as we're doing, like imagine that that's one and second, that's a stable point in space. I can move my rib forward, I can move my rib back, I can maybe do whatever in between those 2 points, but these guys will not move at all. Well, we're gonna keep it simple, so it's gonna be maximum hip action, maybe just like this. So your goal will be to keep your arms here. And again, to feel it better, again, so focus your attention that your shoulders perfectly relaxed, your elbows and wrists should be a bit lower than your shoulders. Like this, not over here, yeah? Try to relax it. Yeah, so when we have this some line or something, yeah, we sometimes speak wrists higher than your shoulder. But for this position, yeah, it's gonna be actually lower. Okay, sorry. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Elbows out. Okay, and you see already now you don't do anything with your arms basically, but there is a movement, right? But this movement you create not through your arms, you create it through your body. Yeah, and now we have something like a seaweed feeling, yeah, because it's a one rib going forward or up, and let's say like this distance between your wrist and rib getting shorter, meanwhile distance between other rib and wrist getting longer. So it's like your rib in cage and moving towards one arm and other. So we have this sort of seaweed feeling. And then we can transfer this seaweed feeling from being static to being somewhat, it can be like this. It can go way more, you know, all this wrap around things. It can go seaweed going forward and backward. So that's going to be more like a basic one. Yeah, and you can basically adjust the level of intensity of it. So let's say when 0 will be when you hold in your glasses. +1, your wrist moving a little bit forward and backward. +5, let's say when you, well, that's more than +5, but +10 when you're gonna wrap all the way around. Boom, 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 boom. And it's a still basic arm style. It's a still basic arm styling, but with a different intensity. Boom, 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 boom. But again, be very careful here, because it's very easy to jump from the feeling that your body creating this it's very easy to shift your attention and start to doing this. So the moment when your arms start doing their own thing by itself, kaput, yeah? So it's always your body. And that's going to be like a ultimate challenge. Yeah, you place one over here, ding, and then you have another two over here, ding, 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 ding. Oh my god! And then you dance like this, boom. So you still remain aware of your vertical line, but also about your elbows. 3, 4. Of course, you're gonna go very, very slowly. Yeah. So for myself, I'm now practicing like samba. Boom, kita, boom, kita. So the body is absorb all these things. 1. Yeah. Okay. For turns, probably going to be a little bit harder.